My first two bits may weren't deterrents, but on this third one, here's two of the events that happened that I knew no more. A couple experiences that really was real transformative to my thinking and the way I was viewing things and the way I was dealing with it. And I can recall one time I had this issue going on with my foot, and it wasn't no typical. I buy some little antifungal cream off the commissary and get rid of it and nothing like that. It wasn't athlete's feet and nothing foot or nothing like that. So nevertheless, after different remedies that they tried, the doctor finally told me, he was like, "Look, I'm gonna have to send you out." So they don't tell you what day they're gonna send you. But nevertheless, now mind you, I'm on my third bit, so it's not like I hadn't been shackled before and handcuffed or any of that. But when the day that they finally called me to go out, before I even saw the transport officer, I heard him walking with them chains. I heard them transport chains, and they sounded different to me, and it was. I don't know. Before he even got there, I just was man. I didn't want them on me or nothing. And when he dropped them, they make that loud clang. And I can remember thinking to myself, like, never again. Never again will they put this shit on me. Never again. So that instance happens. Now, mind you, I'm about to go out and hopefully, get some relief from an outside doctor, and that was my thoughts. Well, we get to the doctor. And this is when you start dealing with being stripped of your dignity. This is what this is. You're stripped of your dignity. I get to the doctor. They give me no anesthesia, no nothing, no numbing cream or anything. He looked at my foot in between the web of my baby toe and the toe next to it. He looked in between it. He said I had what he called a soft corn. And do you know this man he left out, he came back, he got a scalpel, and he proceeded to cut because it was from the time that it had that from the initial whenever it really started bothering me to the point where they got me out there, it was a lot of dead skin. He began to cut off into that to where he cut in to where the pain, it made my body break out into a cold sweat. That was the treatment that I got because I was a prisoner and I was there. It didn't help, where I'm at. It's a lot of inhumane treatment that takes place in there. And that's an instance. And I hate to say, but feel comfortable saying that that's mild mistreatment for what goes on in there. But for me, I had to acknowledge that I had put myself in this situation, and I needed to figure out what was I going to do to not do that, to be in that mindset any longer. But a greater concern of mine in acknowledging what was going on was that I was on my third bit. It wasn't until now the sound of these chains bothered me in the manner in which it did. It was here it is, it's my third bit. And two other times that means that I had found myself comfortable enough to deal with that because I knew what the repercussions were. The conclusions were either going to be successful in the game, which is extremely rare, death or life sentence. Those are the only outcomes that befalls those that play the game. And I understood that. So of greater concern was how was I okay with subjecting myself to this shit to begin with. And that came, I was able to start focusing on the real issues within once I was able to acknowledge. And if we don't acknowledge what's going on, you're not gonna have anything to work on. You've got to acknowledge.